Hello and welcome back to another Will It Forge art stream. Sorry about the background noise. Michigan has not made up its mind about the weather, and well, it's varying between cooler and warmer. I forgot to turn my air conditioner back on after running the laser last night, and so when I got ready for the stream and realized it was kind of warm in here, and said, well, I do need the air conditioning or I'm going to wilt on stream. That would not be a pretty thing. So we are picking up the art streams. I'm going to try a schedule of even-numbered Saturdays doing an art stream and odd-numbered Saturdays doing a game stream, and then kind of rotating and alternating the games. I'm also playing around with a new setup for the artwork, so as to be able to just kind of do it all from the comfort of my chair rather than having to set up my studio a different way every single time I stream. So we'll see how this works. I also forgot to drug the cats, so they might be a little bit louder for the duration of this or not. I'm getting some angry looks, shall we say. So this is the piece of artwork that I picked for this one, and that is because obviously I hate myself. On the other hand, I did kind of scale it up a bit to give you some idea comparison. I've shown you pictures of the old dragon picture on stream before. Well, here's the old dragon picture. Live TV, live TV. Wasn't sure exactly how that was going to turn out, but that gives you some idea of the difference in scale there. I don't have anything real easy like a quarter or a nickel to hand. How about a bottle of Elmer's glue? My own hand, which can palm a basketball and has on occasion palmed a bowling ball. So it's much bigger than I'm usually done, which is going to make some of the fine detail easier, but there's still some really small areas in here. Not just these dots, but there's like these little tiny ribbons that are going to be a bit of a challenge, especially when you're dealing with a brush that's not just dipped in paint, it's dipped in water. Yeah, the cameraman needs some practice. I may have to fire him. I don't know. He's not bringing in a lot of money. He's definitely not earning his keep. And yeah, raining in the wilds of flyover country is a bad time to try and clean your gutters. I can believe that. The other thing is I have found some of my watercolors, but not all of them. So it's going to kind of migrate and change a little bit as we go along. I've got watercolor paints in at least 4 different forms, and they may all make an appearance considering how large this is. And the coming soon text is still there. Thank you, Justinoid. Not only do I have to fire my cameraman, I have to fire my producer. This was a shoestring production to begin with, and we're firing people right and left. After that, I'll have to fire the cat wrangler. Now, I do have myself ready with at least, the paints are close to hand. I got plenty of water, including this nice pipettes for dropping it into paints. I got plenty of water for cleaning brushes. I've got most of my brushes in a good 60% of my paints, so 60-70% of my paints will be good for at least 1 stream, maybe 2, and by then I should be able to find the rest. Now the other thing that I'm unsure of is I don't have my alternative light source plugged in right now. I don't even know exactly in this setup how I would get it plugged in right. I might have to find another power strip. Hey, welcome to the show, Jack Gunsky. Just a little bit of sideline trivia. Jack Gunsky has invited me on to his channel for Clippers United next Tuesday night after Lords of the Night. I expect a fun and entertaining time. And then probably with a late night, a late morning, and being tired at work, but I expect it to be totally worth it. I've been told by others that it's lots of fun, so we'll give that a try and see how long he can put up with me. It's like, get that maniac off my stream. Yeah, backup laser safety officer stays, not negotiable. Yeah, he's kind of important to it, but he's got to make sure he pipes down a bit because he gets ornery sometimes. Somebody may have fun for once. Yeah, well, we're going to try and be generous on that for sure. Now, where I'm going to start with this is I think I'm going to start with the dragon and then work outwards as I go along. Of course, there's going to be repetition of some of the colors and everything. With the dragon, I've got to find my other one of these too, because I've got another set of these from the last dragon. I'm thinking I'm going to start with my metallics. Yep, that's all. Well, I've got 2 of these trays with about the same amount used out of each of them. But I'm going to start with the metallics and pearlescence for the dragon and then kind of work out from there. Oh, I'm not a maniac compared to your crew. Have you watched my streams? Have you seen me? Have you heard me? Okay, yeah, I'm pretty laid back for the most part. Darn it! There goes more reputation points. And kind of area's kind of dry in here, so I can keep chugging drinks while I'm doing this, and hopefully I remember not to take a drink out of one of my water cups for the paints, because that would be bad. Aside from those, I have a bunch of these artist watercolors in various colors. I have some watercolor crayons, and I have, where I don't have them handy right now, but I do know more or less where they are. I have some watercolor pencils. So we got the dry palettes, the tubes. I get a little bit of everything going on here. Now I think the first place we're going to start is we're going to start right with the eyes of Mr. Dragon here. It'll be fun. You know, you won't. I'm going to be on the show, and you're not going to be able to make it. Oh, tisk, tisk, tisk. Oh, going back to work Monday. That is good news. Changing the hours, not so much so. But hey, returning to work is a wonderful thing these days for sure. Now I'm looking at this dragon, and I think I want to choose this color here for his eyes. And then it's just a matter of taking a brush that is from my selection that is not too large, not too small. For these, I'm not going to stand on principle, and I don't know what the official technique is, but I know that if I drip a little bit of water into there and mix it up with a wet brush, I get a really good, easy to work with paint. And the beautiful thing is, when I'm done, it dries up in this tray, and whatever paint's left is left. Fix the title. What's the title saying? Title search. Let's see. My word, that was supposed to change. That's a restream, fix your stuff. Okay, so yeah, Minecraft Hardcore. That was last week. That may be next week. That's not this week. So give me just a moment. Every time I do this, I have to remember how to do it because I've gotten used to Restream.io's website updating everything perfectly for me, which I told it to do this time, and it did not. Well, that's weird. I pull up the title and it says the right thing. Maybe a refresh. There we go. If you refresh your DLive, it is going to come up right. Don't ask me why it didn't update before. Maybe I got the stream started too soon after telling it to update. Yes, doing it live. Live TV, ladies and gentlemen. Please excuse our technical difficulties. We fired our producer. So now the one thing I'm going to notice is I got this color for the eyes. I'm going to try not to use this specific color again on the dragon itself. So we'll see how that targeting works. But I'm going to focus on this for just a moment. And then when I get into getting ready for the next color and proceeding along the dragon and around the dragon, we'll get some tunes started going too. We're making a shiny green-eyed monster. Little side tidbit of trivia. These are the exact same paints that I used for the entirety of the other dragon picture. So everything on that other picture, the pearlescence and the metallics, those are all these paints here. The only color on there that didn't come from this tray or its twin was the black outline to make the colors pop extra. Which I expect to be doing on this one too, once again making it extra challenging on myself. I just hate myself that way. And just like that, we've got a start of a shiny green-eyed monster. Nectarine that peels perfectly away from the pit? Yeah, that is super satisfying right there. Okay, and with that, we're going to just yes, it is actually a shade of green. It's lighting's not perfect on this. And once again, I gotta fire the camera guy. But it is definitely a shade of green. I will stand by that. Stand by me. Oh yeah, and Kyler, I did check out that other acapella group you sent that link to, and I've watched a few of their other things too. Definitely worth it. I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but definitely worth it. I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, 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 and the flames went higher. Yeah, I say you take the color wheel, you throw it out the window, you go with what feels right to you, looks right to you. Problem with something this large and this complex, not all the colors are standing out to me quite yet, so I'm going to have to kind of play it by ear. For the music, we're going to start with, Home Free Vocal Band. Yeah, if I get a copy strike for my singing, somebody's not listening to the stream. But I am going to throw on some tunes, some of which may get claimed. They're from, the ones that are most likely to get claimed are from Straight No Chaser. I either let if it's somebody I know who doesn't own the copyright, I can test it. If it's somebody who does, I either mute it or let it slide. It's not like I'm monetized. One, two, three. Yeah, it flattering and mystifying. If my singing got a copy claim, I'd just be saying somebody needs to be talking to their audiologist. I got my own hearing problems. That ain't one of them.
One, two, three. Disney movies set the bar with stories that are bizarre, expensive toys that kids desire will bankrupt you.
I have catfished a girl, hiding, scheming, pretending. Don't tell princess that I'm a street rat. That truth we can hide.
I just met a great guy, but will my father approve of him? He's arranged my marriage to Jafar, which makes me want to cry. It's an unfair world. Everything's done conversation. Just take it very far away from our love. Even though I barely know you, it's just me and you. It's just me
And you, but you eat taboo, and you eat my face. In Aladdin Part 2. Out in France lived a prince. He was super arrogant. An enchantress put a spell on him. His face would make you wince. Found a girl named Isabel. Only chance to break the spell. Locked in his castle forever. Stockholm syndrome, now or never. Talking candle. Too much to handle. Service here is getting quite insane. They fill you up with free pie, but they charge for Wi-Fi. Well, this is past. This is forever his guest.
look at this stuff.
Isn't it neat? Too bad that all of it's wet and moldy. Don't you think she's the girl who ruins everything? But who cares? No big deal. She wants more. She's trying to be what the people are, but her dad really hates those humans.
Also be hard without those. What's that word? Oh, feet. But
Ursula May, a teeth for her voice, which would cause any man to rejoice.
But how do they see under the sea?
Without gurgling. Hey, Scrappy, I see you over there on the YouTube sign. Wait, what does Wazowski, dance out here.
Just scared
And there you see what happens, especially with the watercolors. If you try to do too close too soon, the black hadn't dried enough, so I'm going to have to redo the little nose section there. Because one drop ran into another drop and it all bleeds together. Yeah, I can manage to be in tune a good portion of the time. My antisocial nature and everything kind of stands apart from the fact that I still one moment please, ladies and gentlemen. That's a phone call that you kind of can't ignore.
Good evening, everyone. Please welcome to the stage Atlantic Records recording artist Straight No Chaser.
Hold you down back, just keep your eyes on me. I said you're holding back. She said, shut and dance with me. This woman is my destiny. She said, ooh, shut up and dance with me. We were victims of I came through physical kryptonite. Help us to the base and the fading. Oh, we were bound to get together, bound to get together. She took my arm, I don't know how it happened. We took the floor, she said, oh, don't you dare look back, just keep your eyes on me. I said you're holding back. She said shut up and dance with me. This woman is my destiny. She said, ooh, shut up and dance with me. I'm back with this dress and some beat up sticks. My discotheque, Juliet, teenage dream. I felt it in my chest as she looked at me. I knew we were bound to be together, bound to be together. She took my arms, I don't know how it happened. We took the floor, she said, oh, don't you dare look back, just keep your eyes on me. I said you're holding back. She said shut up and dance with me. This woman is my destiny. She said, ooh, shut up and dance with me. Deep in her eyes, I think I see the future. I realize this is my last chance. She took my arm, I don't know how it happened. We hit the floor, she said, don't you dare look back, just keep your eyes on me. I said you're holding back. She said shut up and dance with me. This woman is my destiny. She said, ooh, shut up and dance. Don't you dare look back, just keep your eyes on me. I said you're holding back. She said shut up and dance with me. This woman is my destiny. She said, ooh, shut up and dance with me. Shut up and dance with me. Yeah, shut up and dance with me. Oh, shut up and dance with me.
Creepy stalker hiding in the shadows makes girls sing using lots of vibrato. Is he there to hurt her or be her vocal teacher? And why does it only happen late at night? How did this ever seem alright?
Memory, this show causes me agony, not to mention my allergies from these cats all around. Yes, it's misery, men and women dressed up as cats. Wish these memories would fade away. 500 25,000 choirs have sung this. 525,000 versions were bad. Everyone in rent was dying or homeless. Thanks to the writer, we all left sad. I need a
We gotta get off these drugs. Come here, close. I need a hug.
Seasons of love.
This song will be stuck in your head. That's your bottom dollar. Tomorrow it'll be stuck. Annoying, annoying. This song is annoying. We're singing it anyway. We're at war. Another day across our country. Instead of fighting, we just dance and sing. I don't think that helps anyone, but obviously it's way more fun. We're at.
Did you see the new movie? Who was in charge of casting? Everyone can sing.
Why did they choose Russell Crowe?
Why did they think he could sing?
Seriously, he was awful.
He should never sing again.
His voice is monotone.
Auto-tune can't save you now.
Did they not think we were kids?
The music builds, the end is near. We're at war.
This revolution, 'cause our military sucks. We don't have any.
Now, sure, you or anyone that's ever learned to use a gun will lose this war, but we'll be sure to nail this choreography. For Broadway, one day more. Girls hitch hallelujah, girls hitch hallelujah, girls hitch hallelujah. 'Cause uptown won't go give it to you, 'cause uptown won't go give it to you, 'cause uptown won't go give it to you. Saturday night to be in the spot, don't believe me, just watch. Come on, feel it. Don't believe me, just watch. Stop! Wait a minute! Fill my cup, put some liquor in. Take a sip, sign check. Julio, get the stretch. Ride to Harlem, Hollywood, Jackson, Mississippi. If we show up, we gon' show up. Smooth and fresh out. I'm too hot, hot. Call the police and the fireman. Make a drink, water and spice. Too hot. Say my name, you know who I am. I'm too hot. And I'm bad, not that. Girls hit hallelujah. Girls hit hallelujah. Girls hit hallelujah. 'Cause uptown won't go give it to you. 'Cause uptown won't go give it to you. 'Cause uptown won't go give it to you.
this season a Yankees fan. But in the 60s, during the British invasion, there were two bands that stood out above all the rest, except that we couldn't just pick one of them.
Help, I need somebody, help, not just anybody. You know I need someone, yeah, yeah. Help, I need somebody, help, not just anybody. You know I need someone, yeah, yeah. When I was younger, so much younger than today, I never needed anybody's help in any way. But now these days are gone, I'm not so self-assured. Now I finally change my mind and open up the door. Help me if you can, I'm feeling down, and I do appreciate you being around. Help me get my feet back on the ground. Won't you please, please, help me, help me, you. I can't get no satisfaction. I can't get no satisfaction. 'Cause I try, and I try, and I try, and I try. I can't get no, I can't get no, I can't get no satisfaction. Your beast of burden, my life is broken, but it's a hurting, and all I want is for you to make love to me. All you need is love, love. There are places I'll remember all my life, though some have changed, some forever, not for better. Some have gone and some remain. All these places have their moments with lovers and friends. I still can recall some more dead and some more living. In my life, I've loved them all. You can't always get what you want. You can't always get what you want. When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And in my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. Oh my God, we're back again. Brother, sister, everybody say, we're gonna bring the flavor, show you how. I got a question for you, better answer now. Am I original? Am I the only one? Am I sexual? Am I everything you need?
turn me on. The right stuff, you got the right stuff. Baby, girl, you're the reason why I sing the song. The right stuff. All that I needed was you. Oh, girl, you're so right. And all that I wanted was you. You made all my dreams come true. There's 1,000 words that I can say to make you come home. Been so long since you walked away. You left me alone. Was it something I said to make you turn away? To make you walk out and leave me go? If I can just find a way to make it so that you were right here, right now. Oh, sitting, can't get you on my mind. Lost to me, you never just fine. Wishing I could, wishing I could touch your face. Make your girl, you're gone, baby girl, you're gone, gone. Oh baby, baby, how was I supposed to
She'll make you think you're dreaming. You'll fall in love and you'll be screaming, demon. Ooh, yeah, so keep my strong advice. Just remember to always be poison. Don't think twice, think twice. It's driving me out of my mind. And that's why it's hard for me to find. Can't get it out of my head. I miss her kissing the phone. There goes Vinci.
Okay, gentlemen, I'm going to see your Bruce Springsteen one last time and raise you a John Bon Jovi. I need some help singing though, it's been a long run.
It's all the same. Only the need for change every day. It seems we're wasting away. Another place where the faces are so cold. I travel all night just to get back home. 'Cause I'm a cowboy on a steel horse I ride, and I'm wanted, dead or alive. Wanted, dead or alive. It's time so we're gonna die. You just been on strike. He's down on his lucky stone. Oh, so good. She knows who's at her old age. Working for a man, she brings home a faithful love. She says we gotta hold on to what we've got. It doesn't make it work. We make it all night. We got each other, and that's a life for love. Come on, sing with me. We'll give it a shot. Oh, we're halfway there. I'm living on a prayer. Take my hand, and we'll make it, I swear.
So earlier this afternoon at our sound check, we had the pleasure and opportunity to listen to a group of very young, very finely dressed men who sing a cappella in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. And they're singing like 6 feet from the PA system on each side. Can you guys still hear by now? Okay, all right, let us know how we're doing. They sounded great. Well, I gotta ask a question before we go on to our next song. Do we have any country fans in the audience? Okay, good. What about the lovely and talented Miss Taylor Swift? Guys, I know you're a fan. Well, we're not going to sing any of Taylor Swift's music tonight. I just wanted wanted to see who else bought the Fearless album besides myself.
You bought it twice, right?
That's a moot point. That's we're gonna forget about that. Charlie, why don't you take it away, man, on this country song?
You know I like chicken fried. Cold beer on Friday night. A pair of jeans that fit just right. And the radio. Well, I was raised underneath the shade of Georgia pine. That's home, you know. Sweet tea, pecan pie, homemade wine, where the peaches grow. And my house is not much to talk about, but it's filled with love that's grown in the southern ground. And a little bit of chicken fried, a cold beer on Friday night, a pair of jeans that fit just right, and the radio. I've seen sunrise, seen love in a woman's eyes, with the touch of a precious child, no mother's love. Well, it's funny how it's little things in life that mean most. Not where you live, or what you drive, or the price tag on your clothes. There's no dollar sign on a piece of mind, this I've come to know. So if you agree, have a drink with me, raise your glasses for to a little bit of chicken fried. A cold beer on Friday night, a pair of jeans that fit just right, and the radio. I've seen sunrise, seen love in a woman's eyes, feel the touch of a precious child, no mother's love. Thank God for my life, and for the stars and stripes, may freedom forever fly. Let it ring, salute the ones who died, and those who gave their lives, so we don't have to sacrifice all the things we love, like our chicken fried, a cold beer on Friday night, a pair of jeans that fit just right, and the radio. You know, like chicken fried. Come on, a cold beer on Friday night, a pair of jeans that fit just right, and the radio. You know, like chicken fried. One more chance. A cold beer on Friday night, a pair of jeans that fit just right.
Thanks for putting up with that prolonged absence from me. One of the very few numbers that could ring the phone, actually, one of the very few that would actually ring through when I'm live on air. Mother Forge called and wanted to talk for a few, and Mother Forge likes to talk. But I'm back now. Let her talk a little bit, and it's like, okay, I do have to go at this point because I am actually streaming right now. Oh, okay, yeah. I don't even think she's ever watched any of my streams, but what can you say? So catching up on the chat, yeah, I don't tell it to, I have not told YouTube or DLive to censor any words. So what it does on its own. I do ask that any language be more or less family friendly. Do not attack other members in chat. If you want to attack me, go ahead. I don't care. Call me all the names you want to. Any name that YouTube will let you, that's fine. I just don't mind. On the artwork, Kyler, it's not so much a fan as it's just have to give it enough patience because I'm working with a water carried medium here, and some of this places like right here, and especially when I did these horns and that and the nose, the water mounded up with the paint and then it kind of dried out and dried into it. This is a very dry, it's actually a MDF core for laser plywood, and it's been sitting in my apartment for, this one's probably been sitting in my apartment for easily a year and a half now, getting really, really dry, so it tends to soak that in pretty quickly. But it still needs time, because anytime the water's mounded over, you actually got like a drop of water there and you pull in right next to it, it kind of flows into it pretty easily. So it becomes a matter of having the patience to let a specific section, like let this horn here dry before I do this portion of scales, that kind of thing, because otherwise it melds into it. As I was going on about the singing, well, let's say lots of good songs have been in the soundtrack to mediocre Batman movies and mediocre other movies, so you kind of got to take it as you can get it. And I was saying about the singing, you don't. It doesn't come to mind immediately with my antisocial ways and all of that. But I have spent a good about half of my life intermittently performing music, singing on stage, playing piano, so forth. Small productions, of course, like a small choir and that kind of thing. But I was close to half my current age before that stopped, and actually I've done some in a choir since then. So I can usually find a tune and stick to it. Comes in handy occasionally. But you folks end up catching how I sound on a recording. I catch how it sounds in my head. And this one actually, and that's where I'm working with this paint right here. And I still have a little bit of water here mounted up, but with the dry air, it's drying out in the middle here. And that's what happens in the paint. That's what happens on the board too. And with the board being very dry, it happens faster on the wood. I've also done karaoke a few times. My best's probably some Johnny Cash and some Brooks and Dunn. Have to be very careful because there's a lot of songs that require specific vocal ranges, and I have a specific other vocal range frequently. Yeah, Justin, for some reason, it didn't catch immediately for the people watching early. I don't know if I started streaming too soon, despite giving D-Live some time or what. If you refresh it, it is going to say that we're on a watching paint dry stream. But everybody who came in early enough had to refresh that. So I probably should have started, not the title, what I'm playing. Oh, now let me double check what it says as far as playing, because it shouldn't have any playing there. We have in Minecraft English. Let's try this again. We had a YouTube fix your, well, D-Live fix your category Minecraft. Let's correct that. Do they have a... Oh, they actually have an art category. Songs that you shouldn't sing in public because they're outside your vocal range. Those are always the most fun to try, though. I just don't know why, but that's the way it goes. But there's a couple by Don Henley that I'd love to sing karaoke, and it's just the key is just a little bit off for me, and so there's no mastery there. There, that should now say that it's art, actually. Kind of funny, D-Live didn't have that choice a while back, or else I didn't look for it. But if you refresh, it'll show right now. Thanks for letting me know. I counted a little bit too much on Restream.io, which is what's carrying the actual video stream to both YouTube and D-Live. Fun piece of software. Means I could put this on my Twitch channel too, except the only reason I have a Twitch channel is so that I could look at a few other things that were there and to keep somebody else from grabbing Will It Forge there. So, yeah, see what you got. Now, one thing is that doing the blue on these whiskers, whatever they are, I probably should have started on the bottom here and worked around clockwise, just because now to do the rest of them, I got to work over the space I've already painted. So what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to do a few down here, and then I'll do a few up here, then I'll work across it, I think. Now, the crazy thing, because I was talking, so I didn't actually listen through or sing with any of the songs that I was playing, but you guys got to listen to them anyway.
I thought it's funny now. Yeah.
village, the peaceful village, the quiet sleeps tonight. In the village, the quiet village, the lion sleeps tonight. I'm on my way.
Just like that. Hush, my darling, don't fear, my darling. The lion sleeps tonight. Hush, my darling, don't cry, my darling. The lion sleeps tonight. Away,
Well, that's the problem. 3 producers down. We're down to production assistants, and I figured the next one's going to get fired for messing up my coffee order or something like that. Gonna have to go look for new applicants online. Work for experience, video production, engaging atmosphere with 2 cats. Beware if the small one likes you, she might make you dinner. Yeah, I found out my workers' comp insurance does not cover panther maulings. That's a bad thing to learn on the job. It's getting a little tricky in here because got this arc here, this arc there, and this one here, and that one there, but they're actually part of the background art. They're not part of the dragon itself, so you have to kind of pay attention to what I'm doing. Or I'll make some kind of crucial mistake that'll drive me nuts. Ah! Whiskey baritone, that's not a bad one. Of course, it gets me sad country songs all of a sudden. Oh. There we go, finger in the black. Putting my hand in the paint because I'm not being careful. She put him out like the burning end of a midnight cigarette. She broke his heart. He spent his whole life trying to forget. I don't know, you say whiskey in relation to music, that one always comes to mind. I'm not a big fan of the necessarily the sad songs, the love songs. Took me a while to get back to the song, so yeah, life is life. What can you say? Don't look at me, I'm incompetent. Yeah. I don't know, Kyler, I could probably give you a manual with the how to and the what to do when. I mean, can't really mess up the production line any worse than I do or Monkey does, right? All part of live production. Wouldn't be able to handle, I don't think, having mine streamed to you, get production value added, and then stream it back out, though. That would be a trick. At least for simple camera capture and streaming, Potato Clock has no struggles whatsoever. Well, that was the end of the lined up straight no chaser music, so give me a moment. Oh, I know I pushed Peter Howlands. He and Paint did this boy band parody that I listen to periodically because it's absolutely hilarious. Yeah, a lot of country that falls into the range of sadder songs or story songs. Yeah, story songs could be pretty cool. I mean, they get things that are like Johnny Cash with John Henry. Of course, Ira Hayes. The Ballad of Ira Hayes is kind of sad. Of course, you could go with more humorous stuff like Ray Stevens sometimes. This is the ballad of Cactus Pete. He spent his life out in the desert heat, Arizona and New Mexico, searching for the mother lode. Now, if I get claimed on that one, you know they're just spitballing. What am I saying? This is YouTube. All their algorithms are just spitballing. Let's see. But Paint worked out the lyrics to this, and then Peter Howlands and Paint performed it together. And if you love to mock on boy bands, this is great.
Any idea what they're gonna do with it?
With what?
Midlife is tough, babe. The end is nigh. I've seen boy bands come and go. My wife was with the shades of gray. 'Cause I couldn't please, she left me like that. No strings attached, every little thing I do never seems to pull me through. Depression made my marriage break up, and the Porsche won't make love. Never got my GED or a guest spot on Glee since I turned 43. Oh no, oh no, no. You're insecure, feel like a bore. I got a hunch, I know what you'll adore. It's time to seize with one disease. Burn you up hotter than 98 degrees. Cold corporate suits in a room can smell it. Simon says we're brand new. A horde of girls threw my date down an empty well after they threatened to drown me in styling gel. This band has grown from the clump of my cloning cells. They all know, oh, oh, They all know we're beautiful. Songs manufactured so carefully. Flip up my hair, I cure cancer and heart disease. Me, 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 us, me, me. We all know, oh, oh. We all know we're beautiful, oh, oh. That's what makes you buy our love. So old, just rolling in Mickey Gold, Last Montreal, and I'm ready to smoke a bowl. Big Disney's looking for treasure. Took my youth as a financial endeavor. Now my pure fingers ready for pleasure. So I'm breaking up with Team Disney.
And lighten up with Team Miley.
Your one desire, make us retire, but don't care how hard you pray. Backstreet is here to stay. It's our 6th or 7th comeback. One guy still has a 6-pack. Calling Miss Tyler Oakley. Backstreet is here to stay. Your mom, your mom. Our demographic in this consumer market. Your mom is our target. Our boy band display. Backstreet is here to stay. Boy bands are here to stay.
I have to give you.
If you didn't catch that, that was mocking NSYNC. Oh, I do know them. NSYNC, One Direction, Jonas, and Backstreet Boys. Yeah, Jerry Reed, she got the coal mine, I got the shaft. Yeah, let's see. Going through the big D don't mean Dallas. I can't believe what the judge had to tell us. I got the Jeep, she got the palace. Of course, you got I tell you, getting older and the memory is not working the way it used to. But the song is about what you get when you play a country music backwards. Of course, I like going for those lower registers, so give me Long Black Train. Of course, before the fire, I had plenty of Johnny Cash too, so it's like some Oak Ridge Boys. Lay your head down on my shoulder. I won't let the night get colder. I'll protect you. I'll be keeping trouble far from where you're sleeping. Oh yeah, Kyler, Home Free did a I think they got it assembled through Zoom recording. They did Counting Flowers on the Wall. Counting flowers on the wall, that don't bother me at all. Playing solitaire till dawn with a deck of 51. Which actually had me thinking about an old idea that I was pondering in the past, and maybe iPhones and Google phones make it easier in the app world. That actually, that line got me considering a programmed version of Solitaire, where it actually does just, as it's shuffling, randomly removes one card. Which kind of, you have the challenge of, if it's the right card, you can make it a good way through the game without it. If it's the wrong card, you can't get anywhere, ultimately. But doing it in such a way that it's a different card every single time you play. Crazy thoughts, I know. Yeah, that's just a little bit below me. I am no Richard Sturban. They had a lot of good stuff. Statler Brothers, Oak Ridge Boys. Yeah, kind of dating myself there. What can I do? I'm not young anymore. I'm no spring chicken youngster. Not ringing any bells. Which one wasn't ringing bells? The one I was going, lay your head down on my shoulder. Until you wake in the morning, you got the world to yourself. Dream on. Dream about the world we're gonna live in. Just a little bit breaking up there. One fine day, dream on. And thanks for the lemon. I swear I can talk. It does happen. Thanks for the lemon, Justinoid. Top contributor for the stream, ladies and gentlemen. Speaking of which, I will be opening the box at the end of the stream. If I don't have enough in there, I will add some to make it work. Yeah, I just want to... I'll grab this one. This is actually Peter Hollins and Home Free. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found. Was blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious 'Twas grace that brought me safe thus far, and grace will lead me home. The Lord has promised good to me. His word my hope secure. He will my shield and portion be, as long as life endures. When we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun, we've no less days to sing God's praise than when we first begun. Then when we first Thank you for the 2 lemons, Kyler. Oh, we got a bidding war going on there, but I think that so far Kyler probably has more to bid with than Justinoid right now. So, kind of like be nice and friendly kind of thing there. Now, one of the things that makes this challenging sometimes is see if I can get this on the camera. Not just when the paint's drying, but when I've loaded the brush up. This is the finest brush that I have. Kind of hard to get that. But if you see that drop of paint on the end, that drop is twice as wide as the thin spots on these whiskers. And I got narrower spots still to do. So I've got just like little tiny hairs at the very tip of this brush that I have to like... kind of get into the spot to have it kind of drag the paint into the area, because otherwise it's just all out there. Now I noticed another thing over here. We got the nice crisp lines in it. Over here they kind of like have this halo part that's going into it. So what I'm probably going to do is do the whiskers in the blue and then maybe do a blending into a different color for this portion here, because I don't want this whole head portion to be this blue. I want something different for that. So we'll kind of see where it goes from there. Yeah, their tenor is something else too. It's starting to show his age on that voice. I can believe it. He has been singing a long time. And he has been singing on a lot of stages with a lot of energy. Yeah, I was mentioning the thin spots, but I got a spot right here that's about as narrow as a human hair. And I've got a spot of paint that is the size of a drop of water. So that is going to be a very interesting moment right here. And didn't do too bad if I say so myself. And you can actually see now the sheen of the metallic paint right in here. And I'm not kidding, that little spot of engraved wood right there is about as narrow as a human hair. So yes, I am crazy, and as I said, I picked this picture because obviously I hate myself. And there are going to be some mistakes in the finer areas. Thankfully, I've got larger unpainted areas around them, so between trying to do the black outlining and the other sections, I should have a good break in the colors and good treatment of that. So I'm just going to drop that one right there because I want this mustache to be something different, I think. Beautiful thing about making that color decision right now is if I change my mind, I can come back and fill in that with the same color. I know what color it is. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not a tenor. I can kind of manipulate my voice into the range well, but that makes this song kind of a favorite of mine, at least this version of it.
Okay, so even the jokes seem fresh. Well, many of you may also be seeing for the very first time an a cappella show. Any first-time a cappella audience members out there? No, say not you. Anybody? Okay, you can admit it. It's okay. We're gonna explain kind of how we do this. You might be thinking, are there background tracks? Are there background vocals or a percussion? I hear some percussion. I'm gonna assure you that everything you're hearing comes from these 10 guys through these mics out through the speakers. Nothing else, no filters, no tracks, no nothing. It's gluten-free, it's fat-free, it's fantastic for you. So yeah, so that's what you come to Vegas for, right? Health reasons. Sure, of course. Well, we're going to show you kind of how we do that. Now, in each song we've got, in a lot of songs we've got a vocal percussion guy. And on this next one, that's going to be Mr. Tyler Trev. He's going to kind of show you how he does that. Yeah, come on. Go for it, Ty. You can take off. Thanks for coming, man. He's got to get to the club right now. So that's our vocal percussion. That kind of switches around between a couple of guys. Then at the very top, you're going to be hearing the highest voices, the tenors. Tenors, you want to show? Okay, take a little bow. Sure. Give a round of applause. Now, these guys, they sing the high parts. It's usually the solos or the melody. We call it in the business the easy part. That's what they do. So, technical term. I didn't make it up. So, that's what they do. Then the next part below that are the baritones. Baritones, you want to take a bow? Did you just ask someone to call you, Dave? They don't have your number. They don't. His number is 1-800 boring baritone parts. So what they do is, well, we have no idea what they do, but they're fun to hang out with after the show if you see them out on the casino floor losing. So then at the very bottom, you've got Randy and I, and we are the basses. We sing the bass part. Sure. It's a very lonely, boring part, a lot of dums and doo-ba-doo-wahs, and we never get to sing any of those coveted words. Well, special night tonight because we are about to turn things around. Enjoy.
1, 2, 3, 4, go!
you know I'm all about that bass. No tenors, I'm all about that bass. Got that bass. No tenors, I'm all about that bass. Got that bass. No tenors, I'm all about that bass. Got that bass. Bass, bass.
Yeah, it's pretty clear. I ain't no tenor too, but I can make you move like I'm supposed to do. Cause I got that boom boom that all the girls chase, and all the low notes in all the right places. This tenor screaming, trying to reach the top. Sound like a bunch of girls. Come on now. And do you like bass bass? Then raise it up, cause every octave that I sing is perfect bottom to the top. Tell me don't worry about those tenor guys. She said that girls like a low voice to whisper in their ear at night. You won't be no rock star, that'll do just fine. So if that's what you're into, then go ahead and waste your time. Because you know I'm all about that bass, no tenors. I'm all about that bass, no tenors. I'm all about that bass, no tenors. I'm all about that bass, bass.
They don't have your number, Jerome. Don't those
Tenors sound like screeching cats. I think they're all right. But every note that I will hit is perfect bottom to the top. Yeah, my mama, she told me don't worry about those baritones. She said they sing the same three notes and never get solos. Down to the vocal percussion guy. All you need is a bass voice to get you through the night. Cause you know I'm all about that bass, no tenors. I'm all about that bass, no tenors. I'm all about that bass, no tenors. I'm all about that bass, bass. Say, for the record, I'm also not a size 2. If you get that reference, maybe we can't know each other. Yeah, Peter Hollins has done some pretty good adaptations of songs from Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. I know what you meant, Kyler. Not only do I do this, I communicate with people for a living. Because I hate myself. Say, in what other universe would a person like me take a job that involves daily interactions with unhappy people? Don't think too long on that one, you'll sprain something. And I do like some of his adaptations from those. I didn't really care for all of the soundtrack from either of those. But I do like some of his adaptations just because he's so good at it. And then, of course, there's... I like the stuff that he does from Skyrim. Undecided on the Witcher stuff. Not because he does a bad job of it, but because sometimes you listen, you're like, okay, they really messed up that music, but did they do it intentionally? Kind of like
hey, he's a bard, but he's kind of bad at his job? Or did they do it accidentally and that somebody in the production team actually thinks this is good somehow? And when it comes to TV and movie productions, I gave up on giving them the default benefit of the doubt a long time ago. Mind you, I can still watch just about anything. Well, I have no taste for romances and rom-coms and stuff like that. I'm mostly action, adventure, horror type of person. But it's you know, you get those movies that are panned by everyone. It's like, okay, this one I can appreciate the acting, even though their effects was horrid and the scriptwriter should be hung by his toes in the middle of a Michigan blizzard. That one I can appreciate the effects, even though the acting is terrible. Story's not bad, though the plot has holes the size of a M1 Abrams tank. So I can pick out and choose, hey, this part is best on this, that part is good on that, and the like. Other things I just can't handle. I don't know who promised you Minecraft today, Random American. I promised a watching paint dry stream. I do know that DLive screwed up the information a little bit, so that might be where some of the confusion's coming from, but maybe I'm a little sadistic, maybe. Well, if your source is DLive, or if your source is other people and not my announcement on Lords of the Night last night, then they might have some issues. Yeah, this new Minecraft mod is insane, yeah. Each drop is actually 5,000 blocks. Yeah, I blame Jack Gunsky. Well, if he's your source, he's definitely blameworthy. He knows this is an art stream. I don't know if he's still around, but he was here earlier. Speaking of Jack Gunsky, he has invited me on to his channel Tuesday night for Quippers United. So that's either going to be extremely entertaining or extremely boring. Take your pick. But consider yourself warned, at least. If I'm entertaining enough, he will not invite me on again because, can't, stealing a guy's thunder or something like that. We'll see what happens. Let's see. I don't have my alternative light source set up, so we might not go as late as I've been going with some of the game streams. Just because to go late enough, I might have to get up and figure out how to plug in my alternative light. But we'll see. No, I don't actually want that brush. I did not watch last week, so the bar is low, eh? Well, there's this old party game I used to play. Maybe you've heard of it. It's called Limbo. Now, I'm nowhere close to a master of it. Especially not now. But I used to play. Even on roller skates. I know this guy is like, he could turn his feet sideways at the ankle. And walk on the side of his foot to get a lower limbo. And I'm like, really? Well, last week was fun, damning but fun. Well, you know, I am I can't exactly say an unknown quantity, but maybe for the sake of Quippers United, definitely a lesser known quantity. So we'll see what happens to Jack on that one. I figured that if he ends the stream face palming and shaking his head, I've probably done my job. And I've never actually, that I can recall, played Quiplash, but from my looking at it, it seems to be kind of like a cross between Apples to Apples and Balderdash, but you've only got two people. You got two people coming up with ideas and everyone else voting or something like that is what it looked like to me. If that's the case, it's going to be very interesting, because if I'm on form, well, Kyler has seen what I'm like when I'm on form. Being polite and not mentioning anything too specific. Okay. Kyler, Random, and Jack Cochran. Words might just fail me on that one. This actually tells me what I want to do for this mustache. I think I want it to be this color right here, so... kind of get a junction between that blue. They got a few too many blues in this tray. I say that, but there's really only 3 blues in the tray, and I've all but used up one of them. And I'm not a fan of some of the greens and yellows, so I might not do the whole dragon in the metallics, or I might end up with some repetition down the line. He is a big dragon I have to do. And his whiskers are over here, his tail's over here off the screen to the right. About 11, 12 inches long. The whole board is 14 inches left to right, so definitely scaled up for this one. Make the most of it, and I still end up with some impossibly small sections that I'm going to have to paint. Now, Random, were you the one that was streaming the Plague Inc? Because I missed it, and I wish I hadn't. Because that's definitely a game I enjoy, and if you throw in a really good disease name, it's like twice as good. I've ended up with the world being destroyed by twerking before. And I'll consider that might not be a mischaracterization of that disease. You can do it again later if I like. Well, I'd definitely be interested for... when you do it, because it's the question of if I can catch it at a time or not, but if I could catch it, I'll definitely watch it. Killed 75%. Killing them with kindness. Oh, how dare you, sir. Actually, that's not bad. I think let's see, 90% of my plays right now are COVID or Corona, so kind of so sadly defeated in the end, yeah. But in today's world, who is surprised, eh? At least it wasn't being killed softly with his song. Let's see, that one. We are going to... I'm at least going to be mixing up the belly scales, just looking to be doing probably patterns in the back scales. Because taking and making one thing all the same color just doesn't appeal to me so much. What we said about the color wheel? You take it, you throw it out the window. At least as long as it's not something biodegradable, we don't want to get hit with littering charges. This for this. Be Big Bad John in Minecraft. Actually be like Bad Leroy Brown. Of course, the flip side of my work, you get the interesting stuff. I've talked to a guy named Color Dodecahedron. Well, that's not bad if you need a 1d12. Actually have fun with the dodecahedron. I've got a game around here. It's an old National Geographic game that has the globe as a dodecahedron, and the single dice for that is a dodecahedron. Actually have some patterns that I want to laser out. It's for making a dodecahedron out of like plywood or this MDF. A couple of walls of disavow in the chat. Oh boy, pull a clink on this one. I know nothing. I say, please, 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 try not to get me in trouble. No, I'm not too worried about Quippers United. I can control myself. And with that, I'm not worried about other people. I keep mixing up my colors. Of course, after I do this next one, it's dried enough for me to touch up that purple, and then I can come back to the touching up that orange. And listening to your feedback on the nose, Kyler, that does kind of, you're right, that does kind of give it an interesting look on that one. So we might leave that way. Was it me? Okay, maybe it was. Well, I might have to disavow myself a couple of times, but we'll see. Of course, it's a question like, is a stream demonetized, or can I get it? So, yeah, I might be able to pull that off. dropping stuff on you. It's a professional production here. Amateurs need not apply.
I can't believe China's blaming the US for this whole virus thing.
What?
Far over the misty mountains cold, to dungeons deep and caverns old, we must away ere break of day, to find our long forgotten gold. The pines were roaring on the height, the winds were moaning in the night. The fire was red, it flaming red. The trees like torches blazed with light. The wind was on the withered heath, but in the forest stirred no leaf. Their shadows lay, be night or day, and dark things silent crept beneath. The wind went on from west to east, all movement in the forest ceased, but shrill and harsh across the marsh, its whistling voices were released. Farewell we call to hearth and home. The wind may blow and rain may fall, we must away ere break of day.
coincidentally rereading The Lord of the Rings. It's a good book series to read. A little annoyed with some of the stuff that they did in the movies, more annoyed with what they did with The Hobbit versus the other movies. And I know, movie sequence, time, keep things moving, etc., etc., etc. A part of me is annoyed that they removed Tom Bombadil. What can you say? Of course, some of that is buried in understanding more of the lore behind going into the Silmarillion and the the Unfinished Tales. So you see it from a different perspective a little bit, and you're like, oh, come on. But I was a little bit annoyed with Tom Bombadil being such a neutral character, too, because they're from that background and that environment, there really wasn't any neutrality. You end up either being very good or very bad. Jack Unsky's only demonetized in 43 different dimensions. Amateur, I'm up to at least 57. Decisions must be made how to make different ones. Yeah, especially with The Hobbit, but you know, the decisions they made was all about popular individuals in the bottom line. It's, come on. Don't force characters that don't belong into a book. The story was plenty good without them. But no, we have to change up so much stuff, either to keep the story moving or just to change the story, because, yeah, whatever. Yeah, no, that's exactly. It was about milking 3 movies out of one story, which is all about making money. Because the expectation is make a lot, especially after the popularity of the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Their expectation was make a lot more by making the book 3 movies, rather than you could have done the story justice in 1 movie, 2 tops. But they added a lot extra to it, including characters that weren't in the books to add to the story, to add to the appeal, and to make extra movies for extra money making. Which does annoy me to no end. Oh, I just found a spot that I didn't properly blue. Yeah, 2 movies might have been pushing it. The best rendition of the best presentation of The Hobbit is still the original animated one. And then, of course, you did what they did with Gimli and everything to make him comic relief, and it's like, no, actually dwarves were fierce warriors able to travel long distances at frightening speed and be combat ready at the other end of it. But no, he's suddenly comic relief. Aren't Pippin and Merry enough comic relief naturally? And they should be. There, I think I got all those pieces now. So I think everything else is background. Yeah, it didn't call for added comic relief. There are parts in the story that have humor to them. It does not require turning a serious character into a humorous one. For the purpose of relieving the tension easy. Whatever the reason for turning Gimli into a comic relief character, their thinking was bad and their decision was terrible. Okay. Not going to double down on the mistake of getting too close to that purple before it dries. So let's do... Yeah, that's exactly. It's natural to the characters, not forced. And he did such a good job of it, there was no reason to force it. And yeah, they're competent. Peter Jackson doesn't like doors. That could be it. Well, what's he got against little people? Bigot. And I mean, I'll take the... And one of those things where they added that doesn't bother me, Legolas being one of the ones to finish off the Mumakil, and then Gimli saying that still just counts as one. That would be perfectly in character. Except they didn't encounter that critter until Return of the King, and it was the Two Towers where they had their combat, their competition for combat, and that's where they really became friends. I mean, they were companions and associates and compatriots before, and slowly growing to like and respect each other. But that really is when the tide of friendship hit them hard. So by the time they were on the field of battle in Return of the King, that wouldn't have even come into play, but that certainly would have been in character for them. Don't know why he is one. Are you talking mentally or physically? I've never paid attention. And I deal with my share of mental midgets, that's for sure. Oh, let's see. Yeah, exactly. The removal of Helm's Deep and the caverns at Helm's Deep, and that connection. I mean, that is so critical to those characters. And without that, they made it a they took away from the friendship, the building of the friendship, and what it turned into because of that. And you still got it implied some at the end, and them being, getting along a lot better and everything, and treating each other as friends, but you've torn away a part of the bond. And I look at things like that and I say, why? You've actually detracted from the story by the way that you've changed this. And if they had kept that in the way that did, you could still do the Muma kill and Gimli saying that still just counts as one. That'd be perfectly in character for them. But you have that and them just both dying of laughter right there in the middle of battle, and then getting back to the combat in their own ways. I mean, that would have been perfectly in character too. Although elves are not known for their specific joy in combat unless they are killing certain dark creatures. And that's kind of like a cross between joy and fury. They're joyful about destroying something so evil and twisted. Yeah, I believe that was ad-libbed. The scriptwriter is definitely not that clever. Unconventional. I got the color wood anyway. Why not do it? Yeah, well, so there were several things ad-libbed by the actors, and then you got the knocking the thrown blade away with the sword, which was something like that was part of the script that wasn't expected to do it with a real knife. They had the wrong prop in that scene. So the knife that was thrown at Aragorn in that scene was actually sharp, and if it hit point first, could have been deadly. Those little things you don't catch onto until later. And I think I'm going to try and do the actual rest of the face. I like this color here for it, I think. Yeah, screamed by Aragorn, which was breaking his toe. He actually broke his toe in that scene, so when he screamed and then hobbled around, it was real. And that's your next level method acting right there, Aragorn. It's like, no, throw a real knife at me. Okay, I'm gonna kick the helmet and break my toe to get that extra from it. Well, yeah, exactly. So you can enjoy the movies. I've got the extended version and like, it wasn't that closet in the trailer, so it's probably in that closet in the apartment. I've got the extended version of those, of all three. I enjoyed watching them. I just get a little bit annoyed with what they did with the story. But it gets back to the, you can have a screwed up plot, and if you've got good acting, good effects, that kind of thing, I can enjoy the movie. If you've got, great acting and terrible effects and a lousy plot, I can enjoy the acting usually. So I'm kind of flexible in that. I'm for the most part really good at the suspension of disbelief, which is kind of crucial for watching most movies. It just occasionally catches up on me, but then I watch things like that and I'm like, you could have done the story better. I mean, and then you get things that are like totally, I'm not going to go into detail, but you get things that are like totally outside and even opposite what the story is. And those things annoy me. And then that was always fun. Peter Jackson does too many close-up on faces. While the funny thing was, watching Hobbit as far as it got and watching Lord of the Rings with Mrs. Forge, because the whole thing was, that isn't in the books. Where's that? Where's that? Yeah, actors and effects make the movie, not the script writing and directing. Well, I can take and I can enjoy a really good script and good effects with mediocre acting. And of all the movies I've seen, which is probably well over 1,000, 1,500 by now, there's only a few I've been like, oh, that one literally has no redeeming value. But they exist. Rare, but they exist. They go for enjoyable haunting tunes. After the advertisements.
Any questions?
This seems awesome.
Come, little children, I'll take thee away into a land of enchantment. Come, little children, the time's come to play here in my garden of shadows.
Follow, sweet children, I'll show thee the way through all the pain and the sorrows. Not poor children, for life is this way, murdering beauty and passion. Are you coming to the tree? They strung up a man, they say he murdered 3. Strange things did happen here, no stranger would it be if we met at midnight in the hanging tree.
Hush now, dear children, it must be this way, too weary of life and deceptions. Strange things did happen here, no stranger it would be if we met at midnight in the tree. Are you coming to the tree?
Through all the pain and sorrow,
Strange things did happen here, no stranger it would be if we met at
beauty and passion.
Strange things did happen here, no stranger
Life
it
is
would
this way, murdering beauty and passions. Are you coming to the tree?
We're
Dead man called out for his love to flee. Come, little children, the time's come to play here in the garden of shadows.
Come, little children, I'll take thee away into a land of enchantment.
Strange things did happen here,
The
stranger
time's come
it
to
would be
play
if we
here
met
in
at
my garden of
midnight in the trees.
We're Carvana, the
Don't know where the ads are going to go from there, but yeah, sometimes you get where it's like the author has something specific in mind, and then you go and you mess with that design and everything. It's kind of like the Night the Grinch Stole Christmas. There's a reason why the live action version did not come out for so long, is because Dr. Seuss, what they did with Jim Carrey in making in that movie and everything is basically exactly what he never wanted to see in that story. So that he had to be dead a long time and then get the rights over there for them to do something like that. And it's like, show a little respect the author's probably got a better idea of the story and the characters and how everything fits together than you do. Fair. Christopher Lee was very good as Saruman, and it is a good question. Who would have been a good opposite for him? I don't have anybody specific in mind. But I think it would be funny to see. This would have to be kind of a parody spoof, because I think it would ruin the movie. I think it would be funny to see Liam Neeson as a Urukai. And trying to get this portion finished up pretty quickly. So I'm going to do that, touch up the orange, and then I might be calling it that for the stream, because as I said, I don't have my alternative light plugged in. I was kind of in a rush trying to get everything together for the stream today, despite the time I took getting ready beforehand. This was a little over 2 hours to burn, and another 2 hours peeling the masking off of it so I could paint it. That was part of the preparation for the stream. And then setting up the studio thing, finding the paints. So I didn't work out exactly plugging in my lamp, since I had good natural light and the overhead light and everything. But we're starting to run low on that. At least dim enough that it's making some of the precision a little more difficult. So I'm going to finish this portion, do that one touch up, and then we'll be calling it a stream. And you guys are going way beyond me now, because I have a hard time. I recognize actors and actors' names sometimes. I recognize the faces, see them in something and say, didn't I see them in something else? Didn't they play that? And everything. But remembering, matching a name to a face for a lot of them is really hard for me to do. That's like, I never forget a face, never forget a name. I can never remember to put the two of them together, but hey. Actually, I have an easier time remembering people's dogs. Of course, when you're used to working the roads and everything, and you have to ask the question of, is this dog going to attack me? You remember real quickly which ones are friendly and which ones are mean. Getting close. And considering the fact that I'm working with watercolors and everything, I have been making some pretty decent progress today. It's slow enough working precision in acrylics and watercolors. You really have to be careful. And I have comparatively little touch-up to do later. Of course, that could all change if the Fire Nation attacks. Prince of the Hawkman and Flash Gordon. Do you have any idea how many decades it has been since I've seen Flash Gordon? My fault, I know, but still. And like the last time I saw Flash Gordon, The Wonderful World of Disney was on broadcast TV. It's been a while. And thank you for the lemon, Random American. We got a 2-1-1 on that one. Take a look real quick and see what I got. Yeah, well, you know, the chest is over 10. Not by much, but it's just over 10. On its own. That's what happens when you start doing 2-3 hour streams once a week. And things like that, if you have some watchers like you folks. Even if you got some lurkers too, so. Oh, darn it. That orange does not want to behave itself. Let's see. See if I can get that just a little bit thicker for that spot. Well, I will revisit that the next time to give it some time to dry and set, and I might just pick out the lines a little bit with the pick and see for touch up from there. With that, we are going to call it far enough progress for this stream. I got most of the head done, a little bit of the scale work done, some of the belly. For working with watercolors, it's some pretty decent progress there. And I already knew I was going to have to go through with the paint pen and mark the paint up the lines That's pretty common working with stuff like this, and that's going to be its own fun. But I expected that from the beginning, so I'm not too worried about that here. But I will be coming back to work on this more. My current schedule is Saturdays, starting as close to 5 as I can manage, running a game stream on odd number dates and art stream on even numbered dates. My choice for next weekend is currently riding between Minecraft 7 Days to Die and Dead by Daylight. So I'll have to decide that this week. Otherwise, I will expect to see hopefully some people next week if work and or other things don't interfere. I do thank you for stopping by. Some of you, of course, most of you probably heard by now me shilling for Lords of the Nights on Ranting Monkey's channel tonight, starting at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Yeah, this is 7 days is close to a new update, and part of me is thinking wait until it comes out with Alpha 19, and then if Potato Clock will still let me stream that, play that badly. But we'll see. I might take and pull up the play I've got right now with the bass I've got right now, which isn't on a harder setting, but it's definitely challenging enough that I've died consistently. As usually I make a mistake during Horde Night and die badly or something like that, but we'll see. Anyway, we've got Lords of the Night tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 Central on the Ranting Monkeys channel. Followed by, there will be probably a game stream, Fallout 76, starting around 11:15 to 11:30 on 2 Cents Plus. Yeah, if I could join a new server, especially if that were to line up with my streams, that could be fun and entertaining too. We'd have to see. And then there's, of course, tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 Central, if he doesn't have to work, is Kyler on his channel. I don't know if Random American, do you have anything planned right now for your channel anytime soon? Stream later, not sure when. Well, if you click on his name, you can pull up his channel. You can throw a follow or subscribe in there. He sometimes streams fun stuff too. Can't hurt to try. Maybe at 7:30. Hey. Oh, is that 7:30 your time? Because I got it just after 8 right now. Anyway, that's about it for now. I do thank you for stopping by. Yeah, Kyler, thanks for dropping your channel in there. Random, do you have a channel off of DLive? Do you have anything on YouTube? If you do, go ahead and drop a shill in the channel. In half an hour. Okay, so you're central like Kyler. I gotcha. Otherwise, I will talk to you all later. English, I do speak it. Thanks for stopping by. Go ahead, hit a like, share it with somebody. Share it with somebody you like. If you've enjoyed it, if you don't enjoy it, if you disliked it, share it with somebody you don't like. Let the two listen and get confused over which category they fall into. And I will see you all in another stream.